Dark Alley Stories. Welcome to the darkness. If you dare, subscribe and like to survive the horrors. In 1981, after their mother's tragic death, Rini and her siblings left their haunted family home. They moved to an old apartment on Jakarta's outskirts, seeking safety and peace. At first, the apartment looked lively, full of families living ordinary lives. Yet its cracked walls and dim corridors hid whispers of death, strange prayers, and souls that never rested. On their first night, rain poured hard. The elevator stalled halfway. Neighbors greeted them with cold smiles. An old man muttered, "This building isn't always quiet. Beware the bell." Rini ignored the warning, too tired to care. But nights later, she awoke to a faint bell tolling. In the silence, footsteps crept along the hallway outside her door. At the corridor's end, a tall shadow loomed motionless. Suddenly, a door creaked open by itself, then slammed shut. When Rini checked, the unit was empty, cold, and silent. One night, her younger sister giggled, saying she heard children playing. She followed the sound into the basement, where burnt toys and charred photos lay scattered on the floor. Rini later learned that, years ago, a fire consumed this building, killing dozens of children. Yet their laughter still echoed, haunting every corner with ghostly innocence. One night, Rini passed a door left slightly ajar. Inside, several residents sat around a table. Black candles flickered as they chewed raw meat, chanting in reversed, chilling prayers. Horrified, Rini shut the door. But just as she stepped back, one person turned slowly. A pale, lifeless face, with white eyes stared directly into hers through the darkness. The building's elevator became a nightmare. Its mirrored walls reflected not her family, but a drenched woman with bloody teeth. The figure slammed from behind the glass, screaming. The elevator shuddered, lights flickered, and it stopped. The doors opened onto a floor that didn't exist, an endless hallway lined with locked doors and echoing cries of children. Terrified, Rini pulled her siblings back, but she realized the reflections weren't mirrors at all. They were windows into another world, where spirits banged, begging to be freed. Rini began piecing together the truth. Her late mother had once been part of a cult, one promising eternal life in exchange for sacrifices. This building was their temple. Her mother's death had not ended the curse, it had awakened it. Now, the cult sought new souls, and Rini's family, fresh in the building, were their chosen victims. On a stormy night, the dreaded bell tolled again. Lights across the building went dark. Doors slammed shut, locking everyone inside. Windows shattered as shadows moved along the walls. The neighbors emerged from their apartments. They no longer looked human. Their eyes glowed white. Their mouths dripped with blood. And they whispered the same unholy chant. Rini grabbed her siblings, running in panic. Every hallway twisted back on itself, every stairwell blocked. The building had become a maze of shadows, laughter, and cruel whispers. Desperate, they reached the elevator once more. Its doors slid open. Inside, dim light flickered. The children cried, clinging to Rini as she pushed them inside, praying for escape. The doors closed. Screams and pounding echoed from outside. The elevator jerked violently, descended, then stopped. The light went out, leaving them in suffocating darkness. When the lights returned, dozens of blood-stained residents stood waiting below, their pale faces turned upward. One stepped forward, whispering coldly. Rini and her siblings realize the building is a trap, with endless corridors looping back. Fear grows as whispers of dead children echo through the dark halls. Risa sees pale dead children appear, holding burned toys, hollow glowing eyes fixed on her. They whisper her name, chilling her blood with every word. Tony follows bloody footprints up a collapsing stairwell. Each step groans under his feet. At the top, a shadowy figure twitches in unnatural movements. Booty finds a mirror room where his reflections show his body torn apart in grotesque ways. The mirrors crack but refuse to shatter, trapping his gaze. The bell tolls louder, vibrating the walls. Lights flicker red as the siblings huddle together, but their prayers twist into demonic voices around them. Rini forces open a locked door and finds a room filled with coffins. Each bursts open violently. Corpses of neighbors emerge with stitched eyes and screaming mouths. Isaiah clings to Rini, crying as cultists march down the hall. Their faces are blank, movements synchronized, chanting words that shake the building. The stairwell collapses into a fleshy tunnel, walls pulsing like veins. Wet, sticky surfaces drip blood. Faces stretch out and scream before sinking back. The ghost of their mother appears with open arms. Her face twists grotesquely, jaw splitting wide as she screams, summoning the cultists forward. The ground writhes with bodies, pale hands rising to grab ankles. The siblings struggle as clawed fingers tear into their skin, pulling them downward. Booty smashes at the fleshy walls with a pipe. Black liquid bursts out, stinking of rot. The tunnel shakes violently, as if the building itself is alive. They climb a staircase dripping blood, faint daylight above, but cultists crawl after them, bones snapping, mouths open, chanting like a demonic choir. At the top, a massive iron door glows with red burning symbols. Rini pushes with blistered hands, desperate as shadows close in from all directions. The door bursts open with blinding light, revealing a ruined chapel. Blood covers the walls, crucifixes broken, statues shattered on the ground. At the altar, the ghost mother waits. Her face shifts between loving and monstrous, eyes bleeding as she whispers, "Join me in eternity." The cult surrounds them, chanting louder. Flames burst from the altar, shadows stretch across the walls, clawing toward the terrified siblings. Rini screams and raises a crucifix. It glows bright, searing her hands. Shadows recoil, cultists shriek as their bodies twist and collapse violently. The siblings dash toward the ceiling light. Behind them, their mother's ghost screams, swallowed by roaring flames and collapsing darkness. The chapel crumbles into shadows. The siblings climb into daylight, gasping, their bodies bruised but alive. Silence follows the nightmare. They step outside, but the building behind them is gone. Only endless woods remain. A distant bell tolls again, hinting the nightmare is never truly over.